Yes. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm really excited about the Zoom because I know who Huong is, but I didn't actually get to meet her until a couple weeks ago after Bethany Dearborn, a triple diamond leader, did that Zoom for my team. Y'all all know how awesome that Zoom was. And then I did a post in this group on Facebook. I was like, if your team needs a really good Zoom, get Bethany on there. And so then a few other leaders started commenting about hosting and or like guessing, being guests on each other's Zooms, and Hong commented, and I almost just like lost it because y'all have to know my history with Hong, and she's not even really aware of this, so she has no idea. But my whole team knows my stories pretty much about how I became a distributor, how I became a customer first, and then a distributor. I was about 2.5 years ago, maybe a little bit more, the meanest, biggest hater of It Works. I thought It Works was so stupid. I would have distributors follow me, and keep in mind, I was kind of trying to be a teacher, but also kind of trying to like emerge as like this big lifestyle blogger. And my blog is great and I loved it, but I was growing my social media following and still just didn't really like know exactly what I was doing. But a lot of people that I would follow, coincidentally, were It Works people, or they'd start following me, and I would, as soon as I figured out it was an It Works person, it was like delete, fuck, get rid of this person. Oh, they came into my inbox, you better not even think about coming into my DMs. Like, that was, oh, I would get so mad. And even my mom, before my wedding almost 5 years ago, had told me that she had done some wraps before my wedding and had really good results. I remember just rolling my eyes so big at her. Why would you even consider doing that? Anyway, that's my background as being a big It Works hater. But I know that 2 years ago right now, Hong was following me on Instagram. She was following me. And for some reason, it's kind of like, you guys know that I ended up joining under Chelsea Gilbert. Chelsea is one of y'all's ambassador, presidential uplines. There was something about, I almost unfriended Chelsea so many times. And of course, now I'm so glad I did. She hates when I say that too. If she ever watches this, she hates when I say that. But there was something about her I couldn't stop watching. And it's the same exact thing with Hong. There was something about her that was just so real to me. She was one of very few people that just her posts didn't annoy me. That I think she was kind of weird for the It Works thing, probably. But I could not stop watching her and following her. And she just seemed like so much fun. And at the time, Hong, I think you were a double diamond. I think I remember you 2 years ago. I want to say it's been 2 years ago right now. And I'm pretty sure you were a double diamond. So in just a second, you're going to be able to tell your story so you can do your timeline. But I love that I don't know that much. Okay, somebody else is getting on. Whoever just got on, just be sure. Hey, Lisa, make sure you mute yourself. I'm going to try to. Hey, Leslie, I'm going to try to mute everybody as we're getting on. So I love that I don't know that much about Hong, which is why I want her to tell her story. I think it's so cool that, and she's going to tell us all this, I think it's so cool that she's a former NFL cheerleader. That's another thing, Hong, I thought was so awesome about you. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So if you want to just start and tell us how you got started, how you went from, you were a sorority girl at Missouri, which is now in the SEC. I don't think they were in the SEC at the time. Mm-mm. But I think it's so cool that you're from just like right north of me. I'm in Mississippi. And then you cheered for the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So tell us your story, how you found It Works, like how you got here.
All right, y'all. My name is Huong Forrest. I am so excited and honored to be on y'all's team Zoom tonight, sharing my story. I have been a It Works distributor for 5 years. Five years, y'all. People don't even get to say that about a normal traditional job, so I'm very proud about that. I have been in this network marketing industry for over 10 years, and I will tell you that I too was a hater and a skeptic when I first started to see the crazy rap thing in my Facebook feed, okay? So 5 years ago, when I first started to see a really good friend of mine, she and I cheered on the Kansas City Chiefs together. So a little over 5 years ago was the first time I started to see this, because maybe I didn't pay enough attention to her post, but all of a sudden one day I saw her post posting her before and after tummy picture. And I was like, coming from our background, I just thought to myself, the girl wants to look better, feel better. She knows she needs to eat right and get right with her workouts, was what I was thinking. And so I just rolled my eyes. I scrolled past it, never liked, never commented on any of her posts. Until one day, I remember it was Labor Day weekend, so end of August 2012, she posted that she and her husband had each earned a $10,000 bonus with this crazy rap thing. That was enough to stop my scroll. I stopped, I read it again, and I sent her a message. And I said, hey, is this legit? Did you and Herm really do this? Because I know her very well. She and I cheered together. We lived outside of Kansas City, so she and I would carpool 50 minutes into Kansas City for cheer practices, games, appearances, and whatnot. So I know her, I know her very well, and I know her husband very well. So I was like, is this legit? And so she was like, yeah, let me send you some information. What's your email? This was, before we used Facebook Messenger like we do today. So she emails me some information. Y'all, I never opened that email. It was Labor Day weekend. At the time, 5 years ago, I was a corporate travel sales director with a resort here where I live in Reno, Nevada. And,
not Nevada.
And y'all, it was crazy busy. I worked a full 40 plus hours a week. I was salaried management for the hotel, so I worked full 40 hours a week. Labor Day weekend meant also that it was Rib Cook-Off Festival weekend, where 500,000 people plus come into town for this event. I had clients in town whom I was entertaining. And when I was not entertaining clients, I was working extra hours running our different booths outside that we had for the festival. So I was extremely busy. She sent me the email, but I'm also a very impulsive person where if I want something, I want it yesterday. And if you send it to me too late, I'm no longer interested in whatsoever. So I was too busy. Never read this email, never opened this email, saw that I had received it, and it probably still is in my inbox somewhere, but never read the email. A couple months goes by. This was late August, y'all, and a couple months goes by, and the idea of it never left my mind. It was always back there. I thought to myself, gosh, that would be great breathing room if my family and I could do something like that. And then all of a sudden it's now November. It's getting close to my friend's birthday. And also I had booked myself a boudoir session for myself for 2 days after Thanksgiving. Don't ever do that. I was starting to feel a little fluffy. And so I thought to myself, gosh, breathing room would be really nice, but gosh, what are those raps that Chantel's been posting about? What if they actually did work? So on November 19th, 2012, it's her birthday, and I go to her Facebook wall and I write, Chantel, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday this year, and I'm also joining your team for your birthday this year. That's what I wrote on her wall on a Facebook message. The girl who was a hater, who was a skeptic, who ignored messages, I went and wrote that on her wall. I'm sure she fell flat on her face back in Kansas City. And she was like, yeah, send me, what's your phone number? Where can I call you? And I messaged her my phone number, my office number at work. So, when she called me, it made it look like I was still working. She called me, got my info, got me signed up to become a distributor on that day, November 19th, 2012. And I did nothing for the first 2.5, almost 3 months in my business. I was so busy working full time. I also had a newborn photography business that kept me very busy nights and weekends. My boys were just 2 and 4. My husband worked swing shift. We were very, very busy. And although I wanted that breathing room, I did not see the potential enough with It Works. Even though I'd been in this industry for years before this, I didn't prioritize. Until mid-January, late January 2013, Chantel gets back from conference, y'all. My enroller is my ambassador, and her name's Chantel Lyons, by the way. So she gets back from conference late January 2013, y'all. And even though I wasn't working my business, I used the products personally, but I'd never wrapped anybody, didn't have any loyal customers, didn't have any distributors. I was a lurker in her team page. So those of y'all who are lurkers, hello, we see you. And she posted on our team page, Mark Pentecost is bringing back the $10,000. Back then it was called the get out of debt bonus, the good bonus. He's bringing this bonus back for any distributor who goes diamond by March 31st, 2013. Who's going for it? Some demon power possessed my fingers, and I remember typing, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get that $10,000 by going diamond. Y'all, I hit enter, and I remember thinking, oh crap, what did I just do? I had never been to a rap party. She's thousands of miles away from me in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm over here in Reno, Nevada. I'd never been to a rap party. I'd never seen anybody out here with this green, black, and bling out here. I was all by myself, so I got to work with homework right away. I went online. I went to Google. I did work. And y'all, beginning of February 2013, I started the month as a distributor. I did my very first rap party. I did 2 to 3 rap parties a week starting in February. I ended the month of February as a Ruby distributor. I will have over $700 in rap cash from that month alone. So my little goal of $200 a month, I had surpassed in just a few weeks of working this business opportunity. And I had started to build that team that helped me reach Ruby. The following month in March, I had that deadline of March 31st. But I remember March 31st that year fell on Easter Day. And I said, I'm hitting diamond well before March 31st because it's Easter weekend. I'm spending the weekend not worrying about whether I made it or whether I didn't make it. So I continued to wrap people. I continued to party. I continued to squeeze this opportunity and prioritize over my lunch breaks when my babies were in bed, and I would be up for hours. Instead of just working my photography business for hours after my babies were asleep, I would work that and this opportunity. And y'all, on March 28th, we went diamond. And back then, y'all, we had to wait days for reports to update in eSuite, and good old days. And it was amazing when it finally updated and we went diamond, because I remember pinching myself, like literally standing in my kitchen, physically pinching myself to see if this was actually legit, if I was awake. But we did it. We reached that goal. And that was, I didn't set a goal for myself beyond that, y'all. But I looked at the charts and I said, well, double diamonds next. That's what our next goal is. And we did that the following month in April. When I tell y'all that diamond to double diamond is a skip, jump, hop away, it truly is. It really, really is. Okay. So if you are close to any of those ranks, push as hard as you can. Pretend you are in labor. If you're a mama, you know what I'm talking about. Pretend you are in labor and push through, because we made double diamond happen the next month. So then obviously my next goal was triple diamond. And so I set my target date for May, and I fell and I missed that mark in May. But instead of changing my target, my goal or anything of that sort, I just changed the deadline. I knew that I had to work a little bit harder. I knew that I needed to do a few more things before I would reach that next goal. So I set my goal again the following month in June of 2013. Again, I fell short of my goal. But again, I did not change my goal. I knew that I needed to continue to work. I knew that I needed to keep the faith, and that God was working within me to make sure that I was going to become the person that I needed to be and that He needed me to be in order for me to be the role of triple diamond. So in July of 2013, I knew that I would not miss the mark this month. This was the month that was going to be our month, because I might have fallen the previous 2 months, but falling and learning and getting back up helped me put all the pieces in place for us to go triple diamond in July of 2013. July of 2013, y'all, was also the month that we decided that I would leave corporate America. So on July 19th was the very last day I worked in corporate America. And this would not have been possible if it weren't for It Works. Because of It Works, from the time I started working my business from February, July of that year, 6 months, y'all, hear me on this, 6 months, because I decided to prioritize. I decided to stop playing around, making excuses of not having time. 6 months, we paid off over $20,000 worth of debt. Being able to pay off that amount of debt gave me clarity. I always thought that I would be a corporate working mama. I loved wearing my suits and heels to work every single day. I loved that feeling of being in that power suit. So I always thought that would be where I would fit into this world with parenting and whatnot. Until we paid off that $20,000 in debt, until I gained vision and clarity with this opportunity, I didn't know that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, a work-from-home mom. In being able to do those things because of It Works, it gave me clarity. Because sometimes in life, we don't know what we want until it becomes an option. And being a work from home parent was never an option for me until it was. So I was a skeptic. I was a hater. I was a message ignorer. And I also never knew what I wanted because it was never an option. And then it became an option. So don't discount the people that you think have everything put together for them, look like they've got everything going on, have an amazing career, they look like they have it going on, but they don't always know what they want until it's presented to us. We don't know that. So July 19th, I left corporate America. End of July, we hit triple diamond. A week later, I brought my boys home from daycare. I no longer had to pick up my boys at the end of a long day with a piece of paper that told me what my boys did while I was busy building somebody else's dream. And y'all, the day that I left corporate America, July 19th, it's exactly 8 days to the month after I signed to become a distributor. That all happened, that journey to Triple Diamond happened so fast. So it made this next 2-year part of my journey, y'all, seem to crawl. It took me almost 2 years to get to Presidential Diamond. I reached Presidential Diamond 2.5 years ago now. So talk about if that felt like a crawl, y'all, I don't even know what this feels like. But those 2 years, nearly 2 years, felt like I was crawling. But you know what? I had to stop and remind myself during that part of my journey, because I was able to have an entire year home with both of my boys before my oldest started kindergarten. And then when he started kindergarten, I got an entire year with just my youngest before he started kindergarten. What a blessing to be able to build and grow this business around my family's schedule without asking for permission, without having to ask a boss if I could be a mom first. So it was a huge blessing. So when we hit Presidential Diamond, it was worth it to be able to build my business around my family. And we've been at Presidential Diamond since. We've had a lot happen to us in these last 2 years with just business, with people not having the faith and people leaving and whatnot. But we are still here. We love this opportunity. Are so grateful and thankful for all the freedoms, the options, and the choices we have because of It Works. So we are still shy of Ambassador Diamond, but y'all, I can't wait to hit it, because when I do, the rest of my team gets to reach their goals as well. And that's what we are really excited about, because each day that I get to do this, I get to help somebody else cast their vision as well. And because that's something that I didn't have in this business until several months in. And then the vision and the clarity came, and it's been incredible. So that is in a nutshell how I found this, y'all, and how I got started in this opportunity and where I'm at right now. So I know Kate's been saving some really special questions for me.
Well, it turns out I had your rank wrong. So 2 years ago when you were following me, and I became a distributor December 29th of this month is my 2-year anniversary. So 2 years ago right now, you were following me. So you were a presidential.
I was Prez.
Okay, something made me think you were a double. Okay, then I just was confused. Okay, so
that's okay.
Okay, so you mentioned our team, like we are not, there are people on our team who do, excuse me, that hot chocolate is like making me burp for some reason. There are people on our team who do wrap parties and do them really well, but I will say in general, I am not a big partier. I mean, I don't host them at my house. If anybody on my team will like ask me to, I'll travel 2 hours to help host one, but I'm not a big partier like myself, and I know a lot of people on my team aren't. So we're talking about like when you decided to go after that diamond bonus and you really took off, you partied. I feel like our team never gets tired of hearing great partying tips. I know a lot of us have had parties where like 1 or 2 people showed up, and of course I'm still over here like, good, it's good for practice. But I want to know, I always love hearing from different leaders, what are your best party tips? How do you get people there? And then what do you do, Hong, if just 1 or 2 people show up? Like, what do you do? Give me your party tips.
All right, y'all. I always tell people that I partied my ass off to Triple Diamond because I did. The girl who didn't have time, the girl who, and I came from in my network marketing career, I've come from companies where I had to party. That was the only way to make money. I partied all the time in those companies, and I was the bag lady. And so I thought it was the same with It Works when I started. And I remember telling my sponsor, my friend Chantel, because she knew me when I was with the other companies, I told her, I am not doing parties. I am not building crazy fast like I did with the other companies because it was exhausting, it was tiring, blah, blah, blah. I made all these excuses, right? But when that opportunity and that time came for me to get after that $10,000, I knew that with the limited amount of time that I had, that parties would be the most efficient way for me to grow. And it truly is, y'all. Parties are still some of my favorites to do to this day. I don't do them at the number and at the rate that I used to do them, but I want to do them at that rate. And I'm getting back to trying to do them at that rate of doing 2 and 3 parties a week, y'all. So to do parties, that very first one that I did, you just have to ask. I did them at my home because my boys, like I said, they were only 2 and 4 at the time, and my husband worked swing shift. We couldn't afford to pay a babysitter to come watch my kids. Plus, the list of people I trusted to watch my kids is like this big. So, so while my babies were upstairs asleep, I would have my wrap parties downstairs in my living room. The only time I did my wrap parties outside of my home was on a Saturday morning when my husband was home and he wasn't in work yet. He would be with the kids while I went and did a party outside of the home then. That was the only time I ever did parties outside of the home. And so 2 to 3 times a week, y'all, I owned one It Work shirt. That's all I wore to those parties, y'all, because we couldn't afford to buy anything more. And I remember just asking people. The very first party I did in my home was as a photographer also, I invited some of my fellow photographers. I invited a couple of colleagues from work, and I just asked them to come and bring their friends. So my very first party, I think I had 4, maybe 5 people show up. And it was a great way for me to practice. It was a great way for me to present because I'd never seen a wrap party live in person before. So it's all that I knew. All right. So just do your best with what you have, with what you know, and ask people to bring somebody. When they come, ask them to bring somebody. And it's just about getting that first party on the books. Do whatever it takes. Ask your family, ask your friends to get that very first party on your books, because you have to start somewhere. You have to have a party to start this cycle of booking parties that I'm going to tell y'all about. But you got to ask, and you have to ask, beg, whatever you have to do, and beg them to bring friends with them, because it only works if they bring people outside of your network that you don't know, right? So have them bring their friends. And when you get there, you need to do everything possible to make your party exciting, make it fun, make it not dull and not long. All right. 45 minutes to maybe an hour. That is it. You need to make it fun. You make it lively. You need to connect with them. I would make sure everybody pulled out their phones. I made sure they friended me on Facebook when I started the party. And I said, okay, everybody update your status right now. We're going to do a little contest. Whoever has the most likes and engagement on this status that you tag me in towards the end of the party, I'm going to pick somebody to win a free prize. Okay. At the time, I gave away the tiny little sample defining gels that we had. I would give that away, or I would just pick whatever prize, like $1 water bottle from the dollar store or something like that. But I would do this, y'all, and I would have them friend me, and they would update their status on Facebook and say, I'm trying that crazy wrap thing with Huong Forrest tonight. Has anybody tried this body wrap? What do you think? They would update their status, tag me in it, and any likes and engagement opened their network up to me. So that was an idea behind it, was to grow myself and open their networks up to me. Plus, now I was linked into them on social media, which is huge, right? And so that was one way to get them involved in the party and engaged. And then something else that I did was I would do, and I still do this to this day when I do events and everything else, I make little note cards. I have little note cards that I fold in half and I seal, okay? And in the note card, I would write in there, this is good for 1 bottle of fat fighters, or 1 lip and eye cream, or 1 I would also do a facial applicator or a body applicator. I would write that prize in there, and y'all don't have to do what I do. Y'all can make the prize whatever you want it to be. I would seal the note cards, and I would pass this around during a portion of the party, and I would say, all right, everybody pick a card. And they would pick a card. And I would say, inside each of these cards is a full-size product. All you need to do to earn this full-size product is pick a date and book your party with me tonight. On the date of your party, when I come to your party and you've got at least 4 friends there, and you don't cancel your party and you don't reschedule your party, I'm going to bring you this full-size product as your hostess gift. I know our company doesn't do an official party hosting plan, so we kind of have that ability to be flexible and creative and do what we do. This was what I did because I came from a party background with these other companies that I was a part of. And so they would pick their card. They could not open that card until they sat down with me, and I did the closing with them individually at the end of the night. They picked a date, they picked a time, and it was put on my calendar. And I would write that reminder in that card that had a spot where I had handwritten on there, your party is on this date at this time. That was on there, and they got to keep the card because the card told them the party date, time, and what their full-size prize would be if they did not cancel, if they did not reschedule, and if they had at least 4 friends at their party. So people love this idea because they wanted the full size product. I still use that idea at my parties. I still do that when I do events, and as vendor events, I still have a bowl with a bunch of note cards, and that's how I get bookings when I'm at events as well for people to host parties. So that'd be another way that I would grow my bookings. Because here's the thing, and I'm about to whip this out because this came yesterday in the mail. If you do not have appointments on your calendar, you do not have a business. You are not in business. I know that we can grow on social media and everything else, but I'm telling you that parties and being belly to belly and face to face with people is still the most efficient and quickest way to grow. And I say that because I did my parties with passion, with energy, and with excitement, even when I didn't know anything. Even when I was brand new, even when I was still stumbling, y'all, I just made it fun for people, and they got to see my energy and they got to see my passion. And if I didn't know an answer, I would tell them, and I'd be honest, I don't know that, but you know what? Let me find out and let me get back with you. All right. That just gives you the opportunity to follow up with them in a more personal setting, because maybe they don't want to ask you certain questions in front of a group of people. Okay. So bookings was the lifeline, and I always made sure that I had wrap parties, one-on-one appointments on my calendar. But I love the party atmosphere too, because my closing rate, y'all, and this is something, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am. My closing rate at parties was like 98%. Where almost everybody became a distributor or a loyal customer. And that the thing that I love about parties is I would collect all those loyal customer forms, and I would look at my host and say, do you want them to be your customers, or do you want them to be my customers? That is huge. Okay. Remember that line. Practice this line. Do you want these people to be your customers? Do you want your friends to be your customers, or do you want them to be my customers? Okay, that's a really important line. And another line that I used a lot when I was talking to people, because I rapped, remember I made rap, y'all, I was the queen of rap cash. Rap cash was exciting, and it woke me up. And the power, we cannot forget the power of rap cash. I hope y'all still know that to this day. I still get excited about every $25 I make. I'm like, woohoo, you know, because it's extra. It's cream, you know, on top. It's for some people what pays for the groceries for that week. It puts gas in the tank if you are already stretched and living paycheck to paycheck. We cannot forget about the power of wrap cash. And that's why partying has always been so important to me. Because if I can show you as a brand new distributor the power of having a cup and it's filled with money, and you get to walk away with this money and be able to pay bills and whatnot, that is powerful. So being able to do that, I made the wrap cash, but then I was able to tell people, hey, you're already eating wraps. For $40 more, you could become a distributor. You still get the same box of wraps, but for $40 more, you could do what I do and make some extra money. And it's just about keeping it simple. I didn't beg people to join my team. I didn't, you know, make it all businessy or anything like that. I just presented it to them and told them, hey, you could do what I do for $40 more, or these could be your customers, or they can be my customers. Which would you rather have? And that's just it. It's just making it fun. But the important part of being able to continue the booking lifeline, as I like to refer to it, is to make sure that you ask your friends who are coming to your parties to bring friends, because that is how you open and grow your network and how you continue to have bookings from bookings. And then as you're working your hundreds list, y'all, you have to ask people to host parties. So right now we're so focused on asking people to become loyal customers and distributors that we completely bypass asking them to host parties, because we're so focused on the number of enrollments. Get me to a party. You get me in front of people. I'm like Kate, where I will drive 2 and 3 hours to do a party for a distributor, because if they are that serious about it, I will come to you, no problem. I will come to you. You get people there. Get me in front of people, because I promise you that I will bring that same percentage of signing that I do, because this is just something that you get me to open my mouth about it, and I will bring that passion, I will bring that excitement, and that's what people buy into, is they buy into your passion and excitement for what it is that you have. All right. So get in front of people, and it's efficient. I love building my business on social media. Kate, stop me at any point if I'm yapping too much. I love building my business on social media, y'all. But here's what I will tell you. I have to work my ass off to get the kind of numbers that I get spending an hour with a group of 4, 5, 6 people. I remember one month where I signed nearly 30 loyal customers from Instagram. Do y'all know how ragged I looked that month? how hard I worked, how many more people I would have signed had I just done parties that month. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it on social media, and I did, but it was exhausting. So that's why for me, if you are short on time, if you want to be efficient with your time, get in front of people. The art of the party is not dead, and you can get in front of people and you can create that relationship with them. You can get to them to book a party. Ask people to book a party with you. Ask them, you know, and you don't have to call it a party. You can call right now with keto coffee, sipping samples, muffins and moms and muffins. You know, if you're a work at home mom and you know other moms in your network, invite them over on it right after school starts. You know, the kids start school at 9 o'clock. Hey, muffins and mommies and muffins time at my house, 10 o'clock or 9:30, whatever it is, right? And have a mommy play date. You don't have to call it a party because I know that term can seem kind of antiquated. But start asking people. Don't think of them as just a loyal customer or as a distributor, as a one-time transaction. Ask them to host a party for you, because then they've opened up their network to you. And that is key.
I'm obsessed with all of your party tips, especially the one about engaging. Like, I've heard another leader talk about whoever's status gets the most likes will win a free wrap or a free bottle of Fat Fighters. And it's like, until you said it, I'd forgotten. And like, girls are writing in our some of our team members are writing in our group chats right now saying, okay, who's throwing a party? If these are, you really should like just host a Zoom about how you party, because we're just not a, I mean, in general, there are people on this team. I know Savannah is one of my diamond leaders. Savannah and her friend Tegan, who's an emerald, they used to do every Tuesday night, I think, like a little like mini rap party at Panera Bread. They're in North Carolina. So they would do like a little rap party at Panera Bread. And they did that every Tuesday for the longest time. And I know that there were probably some weeks where one person stopped by, but I mean, I've seen pictures of them have a dozen people there. So exactly. I love that. And just, get in front of people for it. It's good practice.
It is great practice, y'all. It totally is. People are always like, how do you say that so easily? I'm like, do y'all know how many times I've given the party pad presentation? I've given the party pad presentation before there was ever even a party pad existed. Because I saw, I found Cammie Dempsey on YouTube. I didn't even know she was Mark's daughter back in the day, 5 years ago, when I first started to look at all this stuff up. I just thought to myself, that's a really good presentation. I'm just going to copy that. And y'all, that's exactly what I did. I watched her YouTube video and every spare minute that I had from the time I was awake until the time I went to bed, and I memorized it. I became Cammie because I didn't have the words. And that's just it. Stop saying you're not a party person. Stop saying you're not a social media person. Say, I am the queen of parties. I sign 2-3 people every day from social media. Start breathing this life into your business, and you know what? Build it and they will come. It is not just a corny line. They will come. I partied my ass off until triple diamond, 2 and 3 parties a week, y'all. And then I did slow down on the parties, but that was because of by my choice. I did a lot more one-on-ones because I could bring my boys a lot more easily, and they grew up with this business. They knew every time mom had a one-on-one, I mean, they get to go to Starbucks and have kick pops and play on their iPads while I was working, right? I'd go into the bathroom to wrap people. The boys would be right there, stand in that corner. Don't you touch anything in the bathroom. Just stay right there. I'm going to wrap her real quick, and then we're going to go back and sit down, okay? So it's just a matter of my choice of doing the one-on-ones instead of the parties, because I wanted to have more evenings free with my family. So I did a lot of one-on-ones during the day. But y'all, you have to breathe that life into your business, and you have to start somewhere. When I did go triple diamond, and on the journey to presidential diamond, I started doing Wrap Wednesdays for my whole team. I didn't have a huge local team, y'all, but I opened it up. The one team, one mission spirit. I call them adopted distributors. I opened it up to anybody. They didn't have to be on my team, because if they grew, we all grow. So everybody came, and it started in my home, and then it got too big for my home. And so I found a place very, very reasonably priced where I did like this membership thing, and I could do as many events there as I wanted to. And every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. was Wrapping Wednesdays. It was consistent, because there's something to be said about consistency. And that is one aspect of my business that has never changed. Is I am consistent and I am dedicated, and I will fight to the very end, and I am loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
So so loyal to a fault. But y'all, I did those every single week until past Presidential Diamond. And then my local team kind of just fell apart, where I had a lot stronger team out of state, out of area. I've always had a lot bigger team out of area than I did locally. But then it got to the point, and so those of y'all who are like, oh, I have one person come or two people come, I pour into the one or two people. Here I would be sitting in this beautiful big old room, and 1 to 2 people would show up. You know what? I did the party like it was a whole room full of people, because like I said, it is practice. It is great practice. And the 1 to 2 people who show up, they deserve all of you and the best of you. They don't deserve any less from you just because you're not in front of an entire room full of people. They just still deserve your very best. So your energy better be the same. Your presentation better be the same. Maybe just a little bit more personalized, because just 1 to 2 people. But y'all, I did this every single week. And that consistency, when I'm booking with somebody, this is what I teach my team too. I'm like, okay, open your calendar. Highlight where you can, are able, and want to work and build your business. Highlight that in green, because that way when you go and ask people about their parties, about hosting a party for you, and they're like, oh, well, when are you thinking? You can go, oh, look, I have Tuesday at 5 p.m. I have Wednesday at 7 p.m. or I have Saturday at 10 a.m. Which of those times would work for you? You are giving people limited options, because when you tell people, oh, I don't know, when are you available? Then all of a sudden they're not available until 2022. Right? So this is why you have to take control of your calendar. This is why you have to be consistent, because then if they say, oh, well, I can't do any of those dates this week. Oh, no problem. I do wrapping Wednesdays every week. Wednesday at my home at 6 o'clock. Would next Wednesday work for you? They're not going to want to say no forever, because they don't want to feel like a jerk. They will come. Okay. And so we did wrapping Wednesdays every single week. Come. Bring your people. I don't care who you bring your people, because I knew that if I gave the presentation, it would be phenomenal and people would sign. And I knew that there are people on my team who are not ready to give the presentation, and that's okay. I didn't want them to always use me as a crutch, but I was willing to do what it took to get people on board and to get people trained, because then the following week, anybody new who signed up, they would come and use that Wrapping Wednesday as their launch party. And that is very important to be. If y'all want to be a party team, it has to start somewhere. It has to start with you. You have to decide and tell yourself, I'm a party queen. This is what I do. I wrap people. I sign 110% of the people who come to my parties. Everybody books parties and host parties from parties. You have to breathe that affirmation into your business.
I love that. I love all of your tips for partying. Okay. So now I kind of want to move on to, like, you've talked a little bit about your team. You mentioned at the beginning of the Zoom that you have been Presidential Diamond for 2 years now. And you have,
2.5.
2.5. Okay. So, and you said that you have seen the good, and you've also kind of seen, you've seen certain legs and certain parts kind of fall apart. So I kind of want to talk to you about right before, like, you hop onto our Zoom, one of our team members was asking, basically saying, I would really just like to ask her about how she builds a team. But I don't want it to just say, how do you build your team? I also want to say, how do you build your team? And especially as you're hitting ranks, maybe you're doing it like with this original team that you built, but I bet that your Presidential Diamond team, what am I trying to say? Everyone who was with you when you went Diamond or Double Diamond is not everyone who's going to be with you when you hit Ambassador. So can you talk to us a little bit about the team building process for you, and then just your experience as far as a lot of people get frustrated or upset when people quit or leave for whatever reason. You've been here for 5 years and you've been a Presidential Diamond for 2.5. You'll be an Ambassador soon. I think it would be really refreshing for us to get your take on that, if you can talk about it for a few minutes.
All right. So first of all, y'all, I want y'all to know, let me turn my phone over. It gets me distracted with all those notifications. I want y'all to know something. Having been in this industry for over a decade, I want y'all to know that everything that you're experiencing in this company, whether you have highs, whether you have lows, and you're going to have all of those. You're going to have highs, lows, everything in between, all right? It's experienced in every company. So when you start, I pray that you never do, ever do have these feelings. But if you ever have that inkling and wondering and curiosity, maybe the grass is greener on the other side with somewhere else, stop. right there. Because having been on this roller coaster of this industry for over 10 years, those feelings exist no matter what company you're a part of. You're working hard and you're grinding and you're putting everything out here, blood, sweat, and tears right here with what you're doing. You'd have to do that anywhere you go. But you have to decide if this is that vehicle for you. If you love this company, if you love these products and you believe in what you have right here in front of you, work hard right here where you're at with what you have, because otherwise you'd have to be doing the same work no matter where you're at. I want y'all to know that. The next thing I want y'all to know about this journey and with building your team and everything else is that there's that saying that says, many will start, very few will actually go with you. Right? So there's some sort of quote saying like that y'all have heard a version or 500 versions of here and there. There's that saying. In my team today, there's a handful, like a handful, okay, maybe a little over a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of people who have been on my original chart. But most of the people who I'm charting today, who I will go ambassador with, 95% of that. I'm not great with math. I know I'm Asian, but I'm not great with numbers. But 95% of that is going to look completely different, y'all. And that's okay, because I want y'all to remember that every day on this journey, every part of your journey, every hill that you climb, every victory that you achieve, every success is going to require a different version of yourself. And the person who you were, like the person who I was 5 years ago when I started this business, I am a very different person today than I was 5 years ago. I am still learning things about myself every single day. So who I am as a leader and as a business builder, it changes. And some people can handle those changes. Some people can't. I try to adapt as much as possible because I know the different personalities that it takes to have a successful team. But there are just going to be people who choose to quit. They're not quitting on you. They're quitting on themselves. So the sooner you can realize that they're not quitting on you, it has nothing to do with you. It's a decision whether they are trying to blame it on you or not. It's on them. And don't react to whether they choose to quit on themselves or not, because that energy that you're spending moping, wallowing, any of that you are spending is wasted. It's time that you could spend on positively doing something, because for every person who quits on themselves, there's somebody else who's waiting to be blessed by what we have, who's waiting for this life-changing products and this life-changing opportunity to enter their lives. So when people quit, I bless them out. You know, I don't spend a lot of time, and I've had people quit triples to leave and go to other places where they think the grass is greener. But that is the high and low. And I know some of y'all might be very new on this, but I don't want to sugarcoat the aspect of what it takes to build and to continue to build and to continue to choose to build every single day in this business. It requires everything out of you. It requires grit. It requires you to move your feet, even despite what you're feeling. Every single day, it requires you to show up. Because if you were to translate this to a regular job, if you decide to show up at work and say, I don't feel like working today, I'm just going to sit here and see what I look like on Snapchat as a dog, you'd be very happy about that. What do you think? We are our own bosses. At the end of the day, we have to look in the mirror and we have to decide, hey, would you fire you or would you hire you? Would you continue to work with you? What is that attitude? What would you continue to be on your team? Would you want to work with you? And I choose to move forward. I have struggled ups and downs with so-and-so doesn't like me. They don't like my leadership style. I'm too red. I'm too yellow. I'm not blue enough. But when it comes down to it, this is what I remind myself. It's not because I'm trying to be a jerk or anything of that sort. I try to be the type of leader that I feel can work with anybody, but there are still people that we are not meant to work with, because you can be the juiciest, ripest peach, but there are people out there who just don't like peaches, and you cannot do anything about that. So you have to run with the people who are also running, who want to work in their business. Because I look back on this journey, y'all, my sponsor was thousands of miles away. I had a reason to do this business, but I did not start doing this business till 2.5, 3 months into getting into saying yes. And when it came down to it, I just went. I just took off and I just dug and did the homework and did whatever it took because I had a reason and I had a why. And I had a why that I'm actually surprised that I haven't cried yet during this entire Zoom with y'all, because it never fails. Every time I share my story, at some point the tears come. I'm known for the waterworks. Maybe they're coming, but y'all, I had a why that was enough for me to propel, enough for me to keep going, even when I didn't feel like keeping going, even when people around me quit, even when my team crumbled, even when I lost a ton of volume and when I lost rank and then trying to rebuild it and get it back and everything else. I just kept going. I just kept going because there are those who will work and there are those who won't. And I always dug deep and found those who wanted to work, truly wanted to work, and weren't afraid to go after it with me. That's who you need to focus on. That's where you need to focus on. And you have to remember that there are tons of people out there that you haven't met who are literally probably living right next door to you that you could bless with this business and with these products. And so my job every single day, the way I see it when I wake up and everything, is my job is to take care of the people who are existing in my organization. So I do a lot of deep diving in my reports, and I reach out to so many customers every single day, y'all. Customers under distributors who are no longer active, who have long since left. I reach out to all those people. I don't care where they were. I don't care whose friend or family they were. It's my job to reach out to them. So I take care of all those customers, and then I just do my part of going out, meeting people, and seeing how I can help them. Not about how they can help me in my business, but how can I help them with whatever their goals are. And it's not always, I don't throw it works in people's face the first thing. And I've had so many people tell me that they appreciate that so much about how I build my business. And I think that's something that I've learned on this journey in this over a decade too, is because I've been there, done that. But it also led to just falling flat on my face. And so when you go into it with growing your network, building relationships, and putting it out there, letting people know that I'm a rap girl, people know that I'm an It Works distributor, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm glad that they know, but they also know that I'm not going to be in your face. That's not going to be the first thing that I bring up. People respect and appreciate that. And it's, if you build your business differently, that's okay. But this has been working for me, and that's how I choose to build my business. And that people know that when they are ready, or if they need to refer somebody, they refer them to me. So that's how I've been able to build my business. That's how I've been able to get through the ups and downs. I know that the ups and downs exist. It happens in any industry. Y'all could be a pharmacist, a farm tech. You could be anything. You could be an optometrist. Any industry has the ups and downs. But it's based, all of it is how I react to the ups and downs. And same thing when we tell our kids, stay even keeled. Don't lose your lid, don't flip your lid or anything like that. You just have to know that the ups and downs are going to happen, but it's all in how you react to them.
I love that so, so, so much. And I know there's a lot of people on our team that needed to hear that, like that affirmation as well. I know that when Bethany Dearborn did our Zoom a couple weeks ago, she was saying all the things about the negativity, the people who leave, the people who quit. So many affirmations for me and so many of us. I love that, Huong. Okay, so I want to ask, and this is like a two-part question, and it's 9:48. I try and keep these right at an hour, so we'll see what we can do with 12 more minutes, if that's okay. I know that y'all are probably really busy tonight too. Okay, so I want to ask you, what would be your best advice for brand new people who have just joined the business? But then also, what is your best advice for people who have been in the business for a little while, maybe 6 months to a year or more, and haven't promoted yet? So best advice for newbies, and then best advice for people who have been in a while and have not seen their first promotion.
Okay, let me start with the newbies first, and then remind me in case I forget about the second part.
Okay.
Okay, if you're newbie, run. Get started as fast as you can. Don't stop and think that you have to know it all. Don't think that you have to absorb every bit of information. This is the only industry that allows us to earn as we learn. I don't care that you don't know something. People don't like the know-it-alls. Run as fast as you can. Book that party. Pull out that hundreds list. Write down every name that you can think about and start contacting them. Be excited about what you have, even if the only thing you've ever tried was wraps. Start contacting them and just ask them if you could wrap them. Ask them if you can book and do that party with them. Start right there with what you have in this very moment. Do not wait. Do not wait for the holidays to be over because you think you're going to be bothering people because they're in holiday mood. Who cares? Start right now and just ask people, hi, my name is Sally. I'm so excited. I just started a brand new adventure and I really need to practice. Would you be willing to come over Wednesday at 6 o'clock and allow me to practice my presentation with you? I'm brand new. I'm learning and my leader has challenged me to give this presentation 4 times by next week. Blame it on your upline. Blame it on somebody. But as a newbie, the faster you get started, and I know it's hypocritical of me to say this because I didn't start anything until 2.5, 3 months in, but I'm telling y'all this now because looking back, I wish that I would have done the same. But my journey is my journey because it's how it played out. But that's how I give that advice to somebody new. Just run with it right away. Okay, the second half of the two-parter is for somebody who's been in and has not promoted yet and not grown your business yet. I want you to go back and pretend that you're brand new. The number one thing that'll kill us in this business of ours is thinking that we are too old or not good enough or that we didn't do it when we were brand new. Stop that stinking thinking. You treat this like you're brand new. You don't come up with some big old sad sob story to post on social media. Oh, I didn't do anything in my first year because of X, Y, and Z. No, you treat it like you're brand new. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to run with my business right now because we have this keto coffee and we have this new stuff coming out in the next couple of months. Conference is coming and I can feel the fire. I know New Year's is coming and everybody has these resolutions and I'm excited to start my own 90-day journey to see what happens when I stop saying no to myself. Who wants to join me? You just pretend that you are new. You just bring that excitement and bring that passion. I'm not asking you to fake it. I'm asking you to faith it. Asking you to believe, asking you to have that and just run with it and pretend you are new. Get off your high horse. Oh, I've been doing this a year and I haven't done anything in my business. You haven't done anything because you haven't done anything. So it's time to do something about that. In order to create momentum, you've got to start somewhere. When I get out and I work out every single day, I don't feel like it. Do you think that's the first thing I think about when I wake up? No, it's not. I could avoid it in all possible way, but I know that the body that I want is not going to wait for me. It's not going to happen without me doing some work. So when I'm out there pounding the pavement every single day, I think to myself about momentum. In order to create the momentum, you have to start moving your feet. You have to start moving your feet and you have to find a way, no matter if it's doing parties, if that's your thing, if it's one-on-ones, if it's doing social media, whatever your thing is, whatever your niche is, it's time to discover what it is because that will help you create momentum. And once you create momentum, that's the hardest part is just starting, y'all. Once you create that momentum, when you get it, no breathers. No breaks, no breathers, no nothing. Because that is where people mess up. Because you start to take a breather. You start to think like you work out for 12, 15 days, a month, 6 weeks, and you start to be really excited about what you are accomplishing, what you're capable of doing, and you think to yourself, I'm going to reward myself. So what happens is you reward yourself with mediocrity. And that is so disgusting. It's like somebody who does a lifestyle change and they lose 20 pounds and they reward themselves by eating a donut. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? And then when you're building momentum and growing in your business, we all know how hard it is to create and build and keep that momentum. Why would you reward yourself with stepping back and taking a breather? If you want to step back to take a breather, look at the lives of the people in your organization, their lives that are changing. That's your eye opener. And you keep going because until my team has reached all of their goals, until they get to, I always think of this one particular family who's been dying to go home to Hawaii forever now. They're not there yet. And so I can't take that breather, because if I take that breather, everybody else thinks that it's okay to take that breather, to take that step back. And I'm not there yet. They're not there yet. So getting started is the hardest thing. That's why when you're new, start right away. And if you're not new, put your pride, put all of that pride, ego, put all of that aside and pretend like you're new again. It could be contacting customers of yours who have been with you from the very beginning, but you did a crap job at taking care of them in the beginning. And it's just about owning up to that. I've done it. You know, what I do now with customer service looks way different than what I did when I started 5 years ago. And I wish that I would have started differently, because I signed so many customers once I actually started going. But y'all, a simple message. Hey, hi, Kelly. I know that I haven't talked to you in forever. This is Huong Forrest with It Works. You were one of my very first loyal customers, and I so appreciate you. But what I know now, I wish I knew then. I know I did not give you the customer service that you deserve, but I'm hoping that I can make that right. If you would like to start ordering again, I'm here. If you'd like me to come show you the new products, I'm here. If you want me to leave you alone because I haven't done my job the last 5 years, that's okay too, and I'm okay with hearing that. Simple as owning up to it. But y'all, just start. It is hard to get that ball moving and going, but once you get it moving and going, don't stop. It'll be a lot more exciting to stop when you are Black Diamond. It'll be a lot more exciting to stop when you are exhausted and tired, but you're earning the residual income that you desire and that you have written on your bathroom mirror, because you can look at that and say, I did that. We did that. My team and I did that. That's exciting, because I know that everybody gets tired, but I'd rather be tired and be reaching my goals and my dreams than tired and not reaching anything.
I think I'm more tired in this business than I was when I was working full time, but it's a good kind of tired. It's like a tired that drives me. And I will say that every time I do step back and take a breather, I always regret it. It could just be for a day or two. I think my worst streak was like 4 days back in August of doing absolutely nothing. After I went triple at the end of July, yeah, big mistake. Because your team's going to run at half the speed that you do. So there I was, maybe running at like 25%. So I had a team. It felt like, and it's not fair as a leader, kind of, you're showing your team what to do every single day. So I know now, when I need a short breather, that's what sleep is for. When I need a breather, then it's time to lay down at 2 in the morning or 10 at night, whatever time it is, and go to sleep. Aside from that, it's like the best kind of tired I've ever been. I'm tired, but it's such a good kind of tired. It's kind of hard to explain.
It is. No, it's not hard to explain, Kate, because that kind of tired, when you open your preliminary checks, commissions, and you check it, y'all don't feel tired then, do you?
No. No, when I check it, oh my gosh, that's probably, I think the 8th day of the month, and then I will always work my hardest at the end of the month. I wish I could say I work every day like it's the 25th through the 30th or 31st. I'm sorry, I don't. I always work hardest at the end of the month. But let me tell you, I work my second hardest on the 8th day of the month when I open that, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so much better next month. Or, this is not as good as it could be, but that's okay because this is just motivating. So I love that. All right. So a couple of minutes left, and I just have one more question. Always love hearing from other leaders about the things they're doing from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. What are you doing for your business? And you don't have to go into a ton of detail because I know we're closing in on time, but I think that my team just benefits from hearing what different people do to work their business throughout the day. So share that with us, and then I'll wrap us up.
All right, I'm leaving out the obvious, self-development, all that. Y'all know this, okay?
Yeah.
And if you're not incorporating those things into your business, you need to, because what happens from here to here is equally as important as the things that you physically do every single day to build and grow your business. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Y'all, my very first power hour of the day, I dig into my reports. So I will dig into eSuite. I go to downline auto shipments, and I look at so like today, all of my customers whose auto shipments are going to be running on the 10th, for example, I contacted all of them. There's a lot more nowadays because I've had so many people quit or go inactive. I physically click on every single one of those names in my downline who has an auto ship coming up, and I look at them. Where do they fall? Are they mine? Are they under a distributor who's no longer here, inactive? I text every single one of those customers and I say, hi, this is Huong Forrest with It Works Global. Thank you for being a loyal customer. I certainly hope that you're loving your products. Your next order processes on December 10th. If you need any help changing it or would like to try a new product, I'm happy to help you with that. Green heart emoji, Huong Forrest, my website. I also include in there if they have a significant amount of perk points. Hey, don't forget you have 400 today, 973 perk points. Don't forget to go shopping with your free product credit. Okay, that is a real number that I pulled from today, and I like, woo. So I do that every morning. And then after I go through downline auto shipments, I go to downline orders, that part of the reports. I go to that because one, I'm looking for credit card declines, ACH declines, because if I need to reach out to them because they're my own customers or my own distributors or customers who are under canceled people, I reach out to them. Again, a simple message. I'm sure Kate's got them for y'all in the group pages and whatnot, but I send a simple message to them. The next thing that I look for in that downline orders report is for API orders from the day before or the last time I looked at my reports. API orders are not auto shipment orders. They are orders from customers or distributors who just logged in and placed an order or an initial order for a new loyal customer or new distributor. I look at those because it could be a customer who hasn't ordered in forever, who logged into order. And if I see somebody who doesn't have a distributor, I again text them, hi, this is Huong Forrest with It Works Global. Thank you so much for your order. If I can be of any help, please let me know. Name, replicated email, or replicated website address. Okay. I just need them to know that if they want to reach out to me, here's somebody they can reach out to. So those are the first two things I do in my power hour every single morning. I then go into Facebook. I know you guys, it's at time. We're at an hour. And then I go to Facebook, y'all, and I do my Facebook hour, and then I do my Instagram hour. I do all those things you're being taught to do. But the most efficient way to do, well, I want to give you guys this tip that I do on Facebook every single day. I know that you guys know what you're supposed to be doing on Instagram and Facebook. I do those things every day too. But here's what I do with Facebook. I go to all the birthdays that are going to be taking place tomorrow. I don't write on their walls anymore. I look at whose birthday is tomorrow is December 6th, and I go to there and click and send them a personal message. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kate. I just wanted to wish you a happy early birthday. I hope blah, 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 whatever it is. I have so many Facebook friends whom I have never, ever sent a message to, is what I've discovered in doing this simple practice with sending them a message. This is powerful because now I'm in their inbox. Now, the first time that I message them, it's not It Works related, which I would be careful about doing anyways, the first time you message somebody, unless it's warranted. But now they've read the message because it's about their birthday. Hello, self-centered society. But it's a message wishing them happy birthday. They likely will look at it. They likely will respond. So that's something that I do on Facebook every single day. And I know y'all know probably about alphabet days, alpha D, and all that good stuff. And I do all that too, but I wanted to share that that's the very first thing I do when I work my business after I do all the other little things that I do.
I love that about the birthdays. I'm about to look up tomorrow's birthdays and probably spend the next hour doing that. Okay, yep. Huong, I could keep you here all night and ask you so many more questions, but I get it. It is 10 o'clock here, and I am about to go put my little guy in bed. And so I'm going to let you have the rest of your night. But I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for pouring into us tonight. A couple of my message chats from my team are blowing up with with people on my team just loving you and all of your advice. So we appreciate you so, so, so much. Thank you like so much for doing this for us. You are incredible. And I'm so glad that whether or not you realize it, we kind of had a history, me and you. You were one of the people that I love to follow a couple of years ago. So I think that that's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm actually going to stay on here. I'm not going to end it just yet. I am going to stop